Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Concept 5. It's a tier 10 British. I don't know if it's premium or not, actually. I have to check that. It's a wheeled medium. It's located on the southwest spawn of Karelia. This one is under the command of BrassBallista. Yes, you may have seen him in previous battles. This is a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. Now, the main gun on this one is 110 millimeters.
I never ran away from a good fight in my life.
And it's capable of 430 alpha and 260 millimeters of pen. It's also got a top speed of 65 kilometers an hour. Now, this is a fairly recent machine. I think most of you saw it last year, but BrassBallista's had it a little while, and he's been playing around. And I think he's getting the hang of it. Seeing as it's a wheeled vehicle, it probably has invincible wheels. Oh, he's found a target. Ooh. Yes, very nice. The Hesh barn takes around 436. And he got hit afterwards, so we got some spotting. Now he's pulling back. Yeah, he doesn't want a return shell coming back along the same line. It's going to be fairly obvious that somebody in this bush filed at the Hesh barn. No, that Hesh barn's not going to poke. Yeah, so now just sitting and waiting to see if anybody goes into the corner. There are tanks on the horseshoe already. But seeing as Wargaming seems to have an awful lot of events happening on that horseshoe, it's probably not an easy place to be. But he's careful to cover his angles as he retreats, because he doesn't want to get shot in the rear by a Hesh barn. It might not be fatal, but it certainly might ruin his game. Only a 3-man crew, driver, commander and gunner. So some of them are doing 2 roles, and it's probably the commander who's doing the more than 1 role. And he managed to relocate successfully without being spotted by the Hesh barn, or by anyone else for that matter. And M103 has been spotted, but we spotted by this guy, and oh, we got hit by the GeForce tank, an E40 and a 121 at the same time. So we've lost a lot of hit points, but don't let that discourage you. BrassBallista has this in hand. Now, as usual, wheeled vehicles turn like a pig, so it's not easy for him to disconnect himself from that rock. But he's managed to get himself into a position where he's not spotted now. Well, he managed to disconnect with that position as well without getting spotted again. It must have been just the fact that that guy was sitting on the corner, the E40, waiting for somebody to come into his lair. He had that swamp area as a field of fire. We don't really want to go into the south pass at the moment. The enemy is quite secure in there, but there is an enemy tank in his sights, and this branch can actually act as camo or bush mechanic. Our guys are falling back, and the enemy is approaching. No, that's a Jaegeru. No, didn't get through.
But we shall find a way.
Okay, still loading the premium ammo, and he's got his first aid kit back. No, he's still loading the standard ammo. Looks like the enemy is very, very strong on the horseshoe. Very strong in the south area of the map. Virtually no enemy up the north, only that M103's been spotted. Now we've got the G-Saw who hit us earlier, trying to get that gun depression to work.
We got through their armor.
Gun depression is 8 degrees on this thing. Can't get the gun. Oh, we can get the gun down just for the E40, but the E40, rather I should say. That's it.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And that was a high roll, but he did get spotted, and the Striv returns fire. And seeing as the Striv is not one of the tanks in the bottom load, he must be up on the horseshoe. Yeah, we did get Amarak, but so did somebody else. Well, no, we didn't get Amarak. This tree is always a good one to knock over because it doesn't provide cover. And now the Heshbon's in sight. Wow. Can he get the gun depression? Yeah. Yes.
Cover was not on his side.
Nicely done. Takes out the Heshbon. He was perching on the edge there to get the gun depression to work. Somebody fired at him there. You can see it's raising the rear of the vehicle as he pops over, and that's making it very difficult for him to get the gun down. Oh, he pops up again. Yeah, shooting over the rear of the vehicle, seeing as the rear extends quite a long way out. Oh, lovely kill! Yeah, that. If you look at the rear of the vehicle, you might have 8 degrees at the front of the vehicle. You certainly don't have 8 degrees at the rear. Okay, target inside. Well, it was a bit of a snap, and it actually went to the tracks. I was thinking he was actually hoping he'd get the edge of the lower plate. Oh, we can definitely take this one, but he's still waiting for the reload. Yep, got it. The standard reload, 11.22 seconds. And in actual fact, BrassBallista's got 11.55. So I suspect that he might have a partially trained crew. With 3 down on the enemy and they're making a strong attack. In fact, that Toro is trying to get in by the back door. Not today! 440, that's a high roll. Unfortunately, we just lost our Heshbon, but they just lost their Toro. So I suppose we'll call that evens. Now, who's next? CDP T5051 pops up again. It's halfway between this area, the gap area, and the north entrance of the horseshoe. They know that if they try to push on the river, then they're probably going to get spotted from the cap area. And there's somebody else trying to come down from the horseshoe. Oh, lovely kill! Takes out the Type 61. That's 3 kills now for BrassBallista. Okay, hurry. Hurry 3. He's actually shooting down to the upper plate. Takes a hit. Gets 448 from that one. It's a high roll. Now there's only the Leopard prototype, presumably from that direction. We have got a shot at the TDP, and yes, he gets him this time. But he did get spotted, and if he pops out here, he might get shot by the Leopard. Doesn't really want to get shot. It would reduce him to a 1-shot. This thing will go 32 kilometers in reverse. It's not quite as fast as the French wheeled vehicles. And in fact, I've been hearing great things about the French wheeled vehicles coming out of Ukraine. I don't know if to mention it. That's, yeah, go for the weak spot. Oh, he's going low plate. Gets it. Yes, I've been hearing lots of good news from the French wheeled vehicles. Apparently, the Ukrainians didn't know how to handle them properly. The French did. And when they actually got trained on it, they finally realised that this vehicle, the wheeled vehicles, are actually very powerful, especially the wheeled light vehicles by the French. Oh, we're barging in to try and get the kill, but yep, our Bobjet wants the kill. And we get... Oh, well, we got the kill instead. He got some hit points. So that's 5 kills now for BrassBallista. And there's an E50 out in the swamp who's very low on hit points. Now, apparently, the French knew that these light wheel vehicles that they've actually got are actually snipers, and they fire one shot to kill the target and then quickly decamp at high speed before the enemy can return fire. Previously, the Ukrainians had actually been sitting there going nose to nose with the enemy, and of course you don't do that with a T-72 or any of the other types of tanks, because of course you've got no armour on French wheeled vehicles. So they found out that if they actually sniped and got the first shot hit on the target, they would kill the target, and then they would actually be able to win the engagement. But they just, as soon as they fired, they quickly rush out of the area as fast as they can. Well, our Striv is doing a great job protecting our cap area at the moment, and so I think BrassBallista is going to put some cap pressure on them, force them to turn around and come back the other way. So they've got a Striv, a T-54 E1 and an E-40. It's the Striv on the enemy tank who's trying to actually take our cap area. So let's see what happens when we go into the cap. He's going to go right to the back of the cap area, or is he going to go be really sneaky and actually go all the way around? Well, he wants to see the enemy coming because I think he wants his top gun, so he's actually hiding in the bush. I think that's all round. Yes, that's good cover. He's planted himself in such a way it's very difficult. You can see it's at the front of the vehicle, as at the rear. The reference points on the side and the front are both there, both covered. The enemy's gonna want to come back, surely. It would be very funny if he won by cap at this point. You see one of the shells actually hit his gun, but of course he managed to get his gun working again. You can also see that one of the shells that hit him was an HE round, went through the upper plate. Okay, he's decapped, giving his teammate time. The 2684 was the one who said decap. And that's it, they've done it, they've won! Here's the end of battle results, and that was the first class tanker for BrassBallista in the Concept 5, a difficult tank to play. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, in fact he ended up with 5, which is 1 short of a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and he also got a tank sniper for getting the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more, at least 8 shots and 80% accuracy. And yes, again, in a wheeled vehicle. Very, very surprising. But this little medium, because most of the other wheeled vehicles are light tanks, this medium does have some juice in it in terms of the amount of damage it can do with 1 shot. And of course, the reload time as well. His win rate from that one, 5,432, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, definitely got the highest damage in the game, 4,635 hit points. Second highest was the Striv on the enemy team, who got 4,596. And the third highest, well, that was the Striv on our team. So 2 good Striv players. And he also got a steel wall and 4,335. So there were some pretty accurate shots going in on that guy, but none of them were actually penetrating. When it came to kills, he obviously got that one. 5 kills for BrassBallista. 4 kills went to the Object 2684, who was desperate to try and get the other kills. So yes, he could bump his score up. Yes, he was a bit of friendly bumping out the way, but it didn't actually work in the end. 268 did get a nice hit on the enemy, but it was BrassBallista who took the kill in the end. I suppose he should have thought about that if he didn't get a high roll, then BrassBallista would follow up and get the kill. And in third place, well, there's a huge number of tanks with 2 kills. The Striv 103B are Heshbon, and on the enemy team, there's Striv 103B, their TVP T5051, the 121, and the Toro all got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. And he got 1,163, which means he's the only player who managed to get over 1,000 base in that one. 970 went to the Striv 103B, who was gallantly holding the cap area. And 816 went to the FV4005, the Heshbon on our team. He fired only 15 rounds, but every round hit the target, but not all of them penetrated. 12 penetrations. 4,635 hit points, of which 3,375 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. 3 of those penetrated. Well, this is a lightly armored vehicle, even if it isn't a light vehicle. The front of the turret is 150 millimeters, but just about everywhere else in the vehicle is very, very light indeed. The front of the hull is 70 millimeters. The size of the hull are only 40. So you can understand if anything hits this at tier 10, more than likely it's going to go straight through. But he did get 1 non-penetration, and that was blocked. So yes, that was at least that was some consolation. 440 hit points of damage blocked by that shot. 2 enemy vehicles were spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 2,819 hit points of spotting assist in that game. And he got 11 capture points, but he did reset the cap just as they asked. He did as asked. And of course, it's always a good thing to have a teammate who, if they're asked to decap, will do that, not just go for the invader medal and take it, because it does offer you the chance to get that bonus by killing all the remaining enemy team. And in this case, BrassBallista, he followed the request and honorably decapped instead of taking the medal. On a premium count, he actually earned 100,217 credits from that game. And he also picked up 32 bonds, 7 for this being tier 10, 25 for a mission achievement, and 4,361 experience points as well. So sorry that this one's taken a little while to get done. He sent it in at the end of the year, and well, I've been busy on so many replays recently, including some of the more recent ones that have popped up, because of course I thought they would be very good replays to actually put up. But yes, at last I got it done, and yes, it was interesting because the Concept 5, not everyone has one, and so it's interesting to see how it actually performs. Yes, it's not a premium vehicle. According to the log I've got here, it's actually just a British medium tank, and that's it. So just a standard vehicle at tier 10. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.